And welcome everybody to what is probably the most exciting race of the not year, which is the French Grand Prix. Hee-haw, hee-haw, hee-haw. This is, of course, an amazing circuit. Not year. Absolutely incredible circuit, owned by, of course, the great Bernie Eccleston, his cash cow. That's why it looks so fucking rubbish. All right, because he decided to test all of his safety features of not gravel and different types of fucking redaftation paint around the edge of the circuit. So that's why it looks absolutely dreadful. But of course, once upon a time, this was a great circuit back in the 1960s when cars could only do 160. Now they do 200 miles an hour. It's boring as fucking anything. Anyway, I'll give you a brief race recap. Lewis Hamilton is the best driver ever. So that's the brief recap. He won. The second best driver ever, I don't know where he is, Schumacher. He's fast being approached as being the cheater that he is and being overtaken finally in the record books by what is a young British star of superlative attribution in terms of driving. He can do no wrong in a car. Every time he touches the steering wheel, it's like he's going 150 miles an hour just by touching the steering wheel. That's before he even turns the car on. But there you go. I may be biased. I don't know. Take it as you like. Anyway, I'm here with Fabio, of course, who has a completely different view to me. And so he's about to shut me down and tell me everything I've said is rubbish. Over to you, Fabio. I've just got to go and do a couple of cleaning jobs. I'll be right back.
No, I mean, I'm just worried that people will start taking you seriously because there is a fine line between you know you saying stuff and you joking, and I'm not sure that people will get all the nuances over there. I have no idea about the race. I fell asleep again, like the race before, which I don't even remember where it was. I mean, it's boring as shit. It's so unbelievably. Oh boy. I mean, I didn't even know where to start. Yeah, I mean, Lewis won. Good job to him. Bottas second, Leclerc third. Ricciardo made some good stuff, and of course he got penalized. But Lewis said he shouldn't have been penalized, which is really interesting because now it seems to be is the judge, jury, and executioner of whatever the fuck it happens on the track. Because probably has got too much time because he's so far fucking ahead that I don't know. He probably has a monitor in his car. Is one of the stewards. I mean, I have no fucking idea what's going on. I really have no idea. So yeah, I mean, there is that. I mean, honestly, what do you want me to say? I'm just waiting for you to say that the tires are rubbish, which is it's another shitty point that you're probably going to make. And yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna say that the Ferrari tires were absolutely fucking superb. But obviously, they only. Oh, hang on a minute. You're a bit out there, Yale.
Yeah,
Hey,
Gonna
yeah,
mute you.
yeah. You got to
Yeah,
be.
Ferrari tyres were absolutely brilliant, of course, and there's no excuse for the Ferrari drivers because they were on superb rubber. However, the Mercedes drivers they did blister their tyres, really bad blisters all the way around. I noticed there was also a blister on Vettel's tyre, but not on Leclerc's. So that's kind of strange. What did you think?
It's well, it's not really strange. The reason why the Mercedes had a lot of blister on the front tires is because the Mercedes were running with a lot of angle on the front wing. So they were putting a huge amount of energy on the front tires, and that's why they had a problem. I think that Sebastian had a little bit of blister because it was pushing a lot, and of course the setup was a little bit different. But I think it was mostly because he made a couple of mistakes, so he blocked the tires a couple of times. So that I'm not even sure it was blister or oh, fuck, what is the other shit that happens on tire? Graining. I think it was more graining than blister on the tail. But I mean, regardless, it wasn't that much of a big deal. He was able to manage the tires because the car was working at different speeds. Mercedes were running with huge amount of front wing. That was the main problem for them for the tire.
Yeah,
It was interesting what happens to Bottas at the end. I don't know if it was managing the tires, was really uh, really uh, trying to push, and it wasn't able to do because Leclerc gained a huge amount of time in the last laps, and I'm not really sure
Pardon me.
that Bottas was really managing the situation as as people think it was. I think it was in serious trouble, and I'm, I don't know if Leclerc, because no, there was a radio transmission. I think 20 laps from the end, where in Ferrari they asked Charles to try to push a little bit more, and he replied something on the line, "Yeah, I mean, I can do that." So he was pretty confident, but I'm afraid it's not going to be good for the tires. So I think they knew something was going on. They had something in mind. Uh, I think they were a little bit too conservative, or they probably didn't have, the delta, the right delta, to push at the end. They're probably lacking a few laps. But yeah, but that was one of the few interesting things of the race, because other than that, fuck me sideways. I mean, Jesus Christ Almighty.
yeah.
I don't know.
So,
What did,
yeah, hi, Els. Welcome to the
hey,
podcast. Nice to have you.
always a pleasure. What did Hamilton win by? What, 16 seconds?
Something like that. I can't remember the exact gap, but quite a way. But I think Leclerc, Charles Leclerc, that great French name, Leclerc, the pacey. I think he basically was looking after his tires, as they say, and I think because when it got to the end of the race, he thought, well, I may as well use up the tires as is. And of course, with the blisters on the Mercedes, they couldn't go much faster than they were going. So I think that was the gap.
Really didn't slow them down much.
Yeah, hang on a sec. You've got a lot of background noise when you move around. So
Oh, do I? Oh, it's these.
you're not talking. But anyway,
Here, I gotta talk like right into the. I got these shitty headphones and.
okay, just mute yourself when you're not talking.
Got it.
That's now. Okay, so so where was I? Oh yeah, the pacey pastry. He caught up for that reason, and I think. But I was amazed that Vettel, having pitted for tyres, and this is what I found interesting in the race, having pitted for tyres to go and do the fastest lap, i.e., he went on to the red rubber, which is the fastest soft tyres, only managed to get it by a couple of hundredths or a couple of tenths of a second over Hamilton, who obviously was on completely shagged out hard tyres at the end. So it just goes to show you that the pace advantage that Mercedes had was absolutely huge in the race, and presumably they weren't pushing the engine as hard as they could. So what happened to Ferrari, I just do not realise. I don't understand, other than my normal theory, which is very hot day, they can't keep the engine cool enough for the power, right? So they have to slow down. I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong, but it's my conspiracy theory for the season with Ferrari, right? Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's as wrong as whatever the fuck you think about the tires. So there's no surprise there. No, but yeah, about the fast lap, you're right. I honestly don't know, and so because again, as I said, I was mostly sleeping through the race. Uh, what was the situation when Sebastian was making the lap? I know it wasn't fastest by that much, but you know better than me that if you take two DRS instead of one, it makes a huge advantage. So I'm not really sure about that. So yeah, but anyway, at least you got a point, right? So it's better than a kick in the balls. So yeah, I guess.
Was it worth it though? Do you think? Was it worth it to do that fastest lap? I mean, was it worth
of course. Of course, it was worth it. It's 1 point. It's a huge amount of money at the end of the season. He had no problem stopping by and changing tires. The advantage he had on the other guy was immense. So yeah, I mean, fuck yeah. I mean, Lewis would have made the same thing if it was, I don't know, 40 seconds ahead. There is no doubt in anybody's mind. Everybody with
Oh, he
just
led
the chance.
led
I
the
mean,
whole
one
race.
what?
He led the whole race, didn't he?
No, I mean, Sebastian made the fast lap. He changed the tires. He put, the soft tires, and then he went out to make the fast lap. So, because he had the time to do that. 1 point is money. So nobody's kidding about money over there.
Good point.
And money, Formula One usually means millions. So probably worth $1 million or so by the end of the season. Yeah, getting a lot of noise still. Yeah, it was from your mic. So can you mute when
I
you?
was just trying to figure out this button muted it or. Hold on. Try now. Is that better? Can you, no, you can still hear me, can't you? It's just for. Okay, yeah, I'll just mute it.
Okay, that's great. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think you're right. Whatever you were saying was probably right, although I doubt it because you're Italian. But apart from that, that's fine. Got a little kind of statement in the side chat here. I think they should add more tires. Probably not a bad idea, or just less tires but harder compounds would be my guess. And like have an F1 car with 6 wheels, more traction, etc. Yes, that would also work quite well. But of course, we have had that in the past. So Williams and Tyrrell also have tried that in the past. Didn't work for either of them, but it was a good try.
Ferrari tried to a 6 tires car.
And didn't March?
They had a 6 tires car, but it was 4 tires at the rear.
Yeah, I think Williams also tried that as well. Then.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember that. Yeah, I mean Ferrari tried with putting with literally putting 4 tires at the rear, just like 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. It was most a political thing, because I can't remember at the time there was some shit going on with rules and regulations. So they say, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna run with this shit, and it was really funny. I remember seeing that, and the car at the back was so wide they basically had two back wings, like one on top of the other with riveted. It was so fun. It was a shenanigans. And you know what? Yeah, fuck it. I mean, you're doing that. That's what you can do. So yeah, let's see. You want to play stupid? Let's play stupid. Yeah.
Well, what if they, because everyone's trying to say, oh, how do we level the playing field? How do we level the playing field? What if you introduce another tire manufacturer into this?
Oh yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, you want to go there?
I want to go there. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get crazy.
Yeah, sure. We've had it in the past, and it did lead to some slightly difficult political decisions. But it was nonetheless good for the sport. Other than you'd start the year and half the cars wouldn't have a chance to win because they were on the wrong tire, right? There was that famous the Goodstone year, right, where Firestone rather had just about had the fastest tire.
You said.
Yeah, Bridgestone. Sorry, yeah, I was getting all American on you.
No, I don't know. I mean, I tell you what, there are UK and Japanese.
Yes, Japanese. Yeah,
Bridgestone.
Yeah. Anyway, but
because then they make bikes.
Yeah, it was the Bridgestone.
Like a million years ago.
It was the Bridgestone had the fastest tire, especially in the wet. I seem to remember. And anytime Schumacher dominated one year because of it, and then Goodyear started getting a bit miffed, right? Because they were producing a tire more consistent but slower. So there you go. One of those things.
A Mercedes has won every race this year.
Yes.
I mean, so it's it's not like, oh well, if you're on the wrong tires, you're just fucked. Well, it's the wrong car.
Sure, but that's
we might as well start playing with tires again. It might
No. Yeah, listen, it's not a problem of tires, okay? Because if you have two manufacturers, you will eventually have one which is better than the other. So
Of course.
what is going to end up is that the tire which are the faster one will be equipped by Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, and whatever the guys which have more money. So the guys which have less money, they will end up with the shitty tires. So it will be even
Absolutely.
worse than what it is now.
But
There
for
was one year. There was one year where I think it was the first year Pirelli got in, and they were equipping the. I think it was the Ligier. René Arnoux was driving there, and they had tires which were either amazing or shite. And Ligier was the only one because I mean, fuck it, it's a new manufacturer that was the only one, and it was insane to develop a new tire with only one car, and they were able, to do good only when the tire were doing good. But but two tires would not solve the problem. And also, I mean, we got to stop doing that. There is no problem in F1. Mercedes has a blazing fast car, and
no, it's amazing.
and Bottas shows it. But that's the name of the game. If you're better, you're faster, and the other one is shit. That's F1. And if you don't like it, you watch another sport, or you fell asleep during the race, which is something that I do, even if I like it. No, but that happens. I mean, there is no way in between. If you want something which is, balanced and hedgy, you either watch, what is it, the Indy series, where all the cars
Indy,
are made by the Lara, and the free engines which are basically the same shit,
no, two
or
engines now.
yeah, or you watch. Actually, what people should have watched last Sunday was the races in Misano, the Superbike, which was fucking amazing, and
I missed it. I'm
there was another fucking amazing race which people should have watched. It was the WTCC Championship in fucking Nürburgring. They made, and I'm talking about the old Nürburgring. They were making the race
the
was
green
on
hell.
the race was on 3 laps, believe it or not, because 3 laps is 60 kilometers, and it was enough, and that was insane, totally insane. So if you want to have fun, you watch that shit.
I've only watched two
Oh,
of those.
absolutely.
I've only watched two of those,
And
but they were really, really good. And I would also give a quick mention for the Japanese series, the F3000 series, I think it is, Super Formula.
Yes, yes.
yeah, yeah.
It's also a really good race as well. Dan Tipton in that, although he's not doing so well. But a really good race again, and just goes to show you that you can have even cars, and then when you do have even cars, the racing is amazing,
Yeah.
but broken. Okay, which is
I mean,
Well, I don't want
which is
to
pretty much
here, but Indy was amazing this weekend.
which is pretty much what happened in the middle of the pack. All right, with the between Gasly and Ricardo and Raikkonen, who had a fantastic race, I thought, and they should have shown more than they did on the actual coverage.
yes, and by the way, you forgot to mention one, and I'm quite surprised you did, because I think it was the best driver in the race last Sunday. It was Norris.
I know.
Lando Norris was fucking
Absolutely. I
amazing.
was going to say it.
That guy was fast, was consistent. He was driving a piece of shit car, which was literally disintegrating under his seat because he had hydraulic problems. He had problems with the gearbox, which eventually went to the rear differential, and eventually made his steering, wheel really hard because he was losing the power steering. So he was fucking insane. Oh, and he also lost the DRS because fuck it. You know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do the DRS. I was astonished that he got at the end with 4 wheels because I thought that eventually he was going to lose 1 wheel.
Yeah, it was a real shame what happened to him on the last lap.
Yeah, but that guy was blazing fast, really consistent. He's a serious guy. He's it's it's funny because it seems to be there is a new generation of drivers, and I'm not including Verstappen into that because I think it's not on the same league. But I'm thinking about people like Leclerc, Norris. Those guys are
Russell,
yeah, Russell. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, those guys are motherfucking brilliant.
Yeah,
they're really cool.
He stuck it out, man. He stuck it out. And you know what? Not to take away from Hamilton's win, but that was a spectacular show. And I have so much respect for him after that.
Yeah, and again, what I found really impressive about Landon Norris was the interview afterwards. Right, he wasn't kicking himself. He knew he'd done a good job, but he wasn't. He wasn't slapping the team off. He wasn't. It was really mature interview afterwards, considering how disappointed he must have been.
Right.
In that, Perez literally stole the show from him for the time. Right?
Yeah, I mean, he's 19 years old, for fuck's sake, but he's brilliant.
Fuck.
And this really amazes me. And I got to say, I always said, before that, I think that, Charles is a really mature driver. I mean, if you listen to him, it seems to be that he has been racing for 20 years. Norris is on the same league, and I really love it. Is fast and is not a piece of shit, which is, it's refreshing in that kind of environment.
Yeah. Again, I mean, let's just say this: Leclerc's race was fantastic. There was one point where he could have crashed.
Yeah.
Most drivers probably would have, but not him. He stayed out of trouble. He really kept the nose of his car clean, which is the most important thing in Formula One. And as a result, had what could be considered a really good race. He finished the car as high as the car could finish.
Still got to finish. Always got to finish.
Well,
doesn't matter.
Got to make the most, right? Like Ricardo. I mean, he made the most of what he had in the car. Again, he outraced his teammate despite finishing behind him. He outraced his teammate. And like he said, I'm not really here to finish low in the points. So, yeah, why not give it a go? If I've got to drive off track to overtake someone, see what happens. You know what I mean? Make it fun.
If I can finish right behind you with the same car, exact same car as you, but worse. Yeah, pick it up a little.
Yeah. So I was really impressed again with Ricardo's drive. I thought it was fantastic.
Me too.
Raikkonen, one of Raikkonen's best drives of the season, really. Considering.
Yeah. Thank you. I was going to say that I wanted to hear some good things from you guys about Alpha. I mean, they made a good race, right? I mean, Kimi made an excellent race. The only reason that Ricciardo was able to pass him, I think, is because Kimi knew that they were going to penalize him because he drove it just at the edge of it.
Yeah.
He didn't play dirty, stuff like that. He knew it was going to happen because, if he wanted, he would have smashed him in the wall. I mean, and also it's Kimi, so fuck it, right? I mean, it doesn't give two fucks about it. So, but I mean, but
before the race, so that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, the car shows some progress. I mean, they brought a little bit of new parts.
Yeah.
They had a very good engine because Ricciardo wasn't able to pass Kimi with the DRS, so it was bloody insane, right? I mean, that car was blazing fast. No, it wasn't Ricciardo. Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg wasn't able to pass him with the DRS open, and that guy was just fuck it. Giovinazzi made the top 10 in qualifying, and even if it was, everybody knew that it was a fad because he had to qualify with the wrong tires. So we knew that eventually, shit would happen. But anyway, it was.
It did. Yeah, it did very good. I mean, yeah.
And I'll just throw it out there.
Hang on a minute. I'm glad you mentioned tires there and how shit they were. Just to point out. There you go.
I mean, I don't know if you're an idiot on purpose or just making shit up. Hey, okay, Simos, listen, you're not Kyle and I'm not Steve. So if you're behaving like an idiot, I'm going to tell you you're an idiot right fucking now, live, okay? So I don't need that kind of shit.
You're not going to get your 50% in particles.
You're
not going to get it, right? This is my money now. I've run the...
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what you're on about. And, I don't care. I know you got Nate, 100% Nate as a lawyer, but I just do not care.
Well, the problem is that your definition of tires is fucked up. That's the issue. So that's why you're making shit up. because your definition of tires is wrong.
That's not true. The reason you're up against me is because Pirelli are an Italian company. That's the reason. Anyway.
So you're going with.
Well, you're outnumbered 2-1
no,
here.
yeah,
Come on.
Shut up. So you're going with the SCP definition, the Standard Encyclopedia of Pirelli definition.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, it's still shite then.
There you go. Doesn't matter. I define tyres as being black and brown. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like your asshole, but.
Oh dear. Yes, it's had a lot of use, like Pirelli tyres. But anyway, they wears out quickly, shall we say? Okay, so I'm just a quick mention before we get off the Grand Prix, if we ever do. It's a quick mention for Albon. I thought he also had a decent race, considering Honda allegedly had an upgrade, but I don't think they did. I just think they've got reliability issues, and so therefore they're swapping their engines out early. Kvyat allegedly had a better engine, and yet Albon still managed to keep up with him. So again, really good race for Albon.
I can't remember. There was a team. I can't remember which one. They found the like the labels they put on parts. They found they've been tampered with, and I can't remember which one. But it turned out that they did that on purpose so they could change the part even if it was not broken, because it was the third part, and then they only get 5 positions. I can't remember which one, but I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
You mean a few years back? Like about 10 years ago or something? Do you mean then, or do you mean this year?
No, but that happened this weekend. I can't remember the team.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know. I did not know. Okay, we're gonna have to look at that.
It was probably someone with an Honda engine, anyway.
Undoubtedly, and in which case it's bound to be Toro Rosso.
Yeah.
Yes, red bollocks, as we translate it to over here. Anyway,
which is another Italian team, by the way.
Of course it is. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be Minardi. Yeah.
Any Italian team would ever cheat, of course.
Well, it used to be Shadow before that.
No. It wasn't Shadow. It was Minardi.
It was Arrows.
No. It was Minardi Racing Team.
No. Anyway, that's another thing.
Wasn't Arrows before?
Say again?
Didn't Minardi used to be Arrows?
No.
No. Footwork. No, Minardi were. I don't know. Not Minardi. Footwork became the Stewart team, didn't they, or something?
Yeah. No, Minardi was born as Minardi in the turbo era. So that's as far as it goes.
Which eventually became Footwork, Arrows, Jackie Stewart, Ford, Jaguar became the Jaguar team.
Yeah.
From the Jaguar team, maybe they became the Mercedes team.
Yeah, that was the Arrows. But yeah, Minardi was born as Minardi, and it goes back as far as the turbo era. So that's as far as it
goes. Okay, is there anybody else you have forgotten to mention, or have I forgotten to mention?
No, the GP2 race was interesting.
I saw a little bit of it, but I believe Johnny Herbert's nephew won.
Really?
Hubert, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was his nephew.
Well, he probably isn't, but you know, it's his French nephew.
Oh, Hubert. I see. The French nephew, right?
Hubert, Herbert. It's a slight connection, you know, these linguistic things. But yeah, again, you know, this circuit, I don't know. There's something about it. I mean, I remember racing it on some games and stuff, and it never impressed me even then. So in real life, you know, I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me. Also, it just looks really horrible because, you know, people driving off the track, like Perez driving off the track.
Yeah.
Taking his penalty and then getting another penalty added to him because obviously he drove too fast through his penalty.
I thought.
What's that about?
I thought the penalty was a little harsh on Perez. It's the start of the race. It gets like a motocross start like that. I mean, you're just looking ahead. You don't care about who's behind you. You don't care about any of that. You're just trying to move up and get as good of a start as possible. I mean, you can't really be counting who all's behind you, who all's ahead of you. And what do you do? Like, because we're handing out penalties left and right here. How do you safely rejoin the track? Behind you, who all's in that situation? What'd you say? You're a little choppy.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. But again, these are Formula One drivers. So they're 20 best drivers in the world. And if they go off behind somebody, they should know who they were behind when they went off the track, So,
or their crew should know.
Maybe there's an argument that he did what he was supposed to do and he took advantage of that situation. And that's what they penalised him for, taking advantage of the situation. So it's a fair penalty in the respect of the way penalties have been applied this year. A bit harsh, but there again, it's like you can't
really cracking down this year.
He can't really claim that he didn't know that there might have been a penalty. He was just
absolutely
same thing. Ricardo did, right? He drove off the circuit twice, and he knew he was pushing his luck. Sometimes they give them, sometimes they don't. Well, this year they're going to, because they penalised Sebastian, right? Which is, let's just say, one of the more political decisions one of the tougher political decisions that have been made by the FIA in recent years. So they're gonna crack down on anybody that does anything slightly wrong, just to show that they weren't really targeting Ferrari.
Kimi almost got penalized in qualifying too, and Grosjean had a bit of a shit fit about that apparently, and he's kind of been having a lot of shit fits lately, though. In general, apparently he's been saying a few things about his team and all that. And
oh, not Grosjean. No, I wouldn't have thought Grosjean said much about his team, but he always has a shit. That's the thing, right? I mean, you remember I'm sure Fabio will remember the big crash at Spa, I think it was, where he drove into about 5 people, and took half the field out. And then afterwards just said, "Oh no, that wasn't really my fault. I didn't really do anything wrong." And then, well, yeah, you did drive off the track and then back onto the track in front of loads of people, right, and not bother braking. Apart from that, nothing to do with you. So he's always got this huge bias, right? Like this ego thing. He reminds me of somebody else in the community. I'm not sure who, but he's got a massive ego, and never thinks he does anything wrong. And of course, as soon as somebody even farts in front of him, he's claiming that there was too much wind disruption. And
I mean, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. I
qualified.
Go ahead, Fabio.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I just know that Grosjean has probably has got a picture of Maldonado in his car. It's his, that's his goal. This is what he's striving for, right? And the other thing I want to say, you mentioned, there are 20 fast men, on the track, as opposed to 36 drivers, which took start in Misano in the 300 class, and funnily enough, a woman won, Ana Carrasco. So there you go. See, never know about that.
Was it a woman, or was it somebody who used to be a man but is now a woman?
No. She's actually a woman. She's Spanish, and she's actually pretty cool.
Yes, I know who you mean. Yeah, she's very fast, and obviously.
I think I know who you're talking about, actually.
Ana Carrasco.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, she's a little cutie. Little Spanish cutie.
No, I'm thinking of someone in F2000 or something.
No, I'm talking about proper race, the one which happened in 2 wheels. Not the shit of 4 wheels.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Anyway, I'm astonished that we managed to talk about 40 minutes about a race which was shite. It's fucking insane, man. I mean, Steve helped a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. You're still not getting your money, Fabio. You know that.
Oh, fuck it. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
okay, I'm going to throw a easy fit and get the fuck out of here then.
Yeah, but I'll see you next week. There you go. So yeah, I think we've only got a week. Is it a week to the next race? Okay, somebody check out when the next race is.
Yeah, I don't have any fucking. I have no fucking idea.
They're going to Austria, I believe. Austria, which is the Red Bull Ring. Ringen Rauschen Red Bullen, as it's known.
So next race, shut the fuck up. Next race is gonna be June the 30th at the Red Bull Ring. Achtung. Yeah, it's gonna be the Austrian GP. Yeah, and the 30th of June. And in 2 days, it's gonna be my birthday. So if you want to send money, yeah, fuck it,
Oh,
right?
happy birthday.
Yeah, just send it to the patron account for this account.
Yes.
And you'll get 50%.
In purple titties.
In purple titties.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's your cut?
Yeah, my cut is 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how percentage works. I got 50, you got 50, and you got 100, and I got that's how it works.
Yeah, just obviously we're going to have to make Fabio's daughters prostitutes now. So
fuck it.
we can pay for his motorcycle that he got last week. But there you go. How is the bike this week? All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, you got the MV.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's a gorgeous looking babe. But,
That's the
It
MV.
is. It is. Yeah.
yeah. So we're all very jealous.
Thing's a beast.
Okay, so an interesting blog by Nico Rosberg. He spoke to a load of people about why Mercedes is so good. Most people came to the conclusion that because their team has been together for 10 years now, that is, most of the team members have remained the same for 10 years, that might be one of the factors why they just can continually keep putting their foot down, so to speak. And I wouldn't go far wrong, because as Nico pointed out, the other teams undoubtedly have been headhunting the people in Mercedes team, and it's credit to Toto Wolff that he can manage the loyalty of the people that are around him to keep the team together for 10 years, which is pretty unheard of in Formula One. So well done to them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think Nico has a point. It might be something that people underestimate a lot, but if you have a good team, and it doesn't even matter. Well, of course we start from the top, okay, but even having the small stuff like a good set of mechanics in the pit, which have been there like forever, it makes the life a lot easier. Communication is easier. The problems are solved faster, and by faster I mean even if you manage to scrap 1 hour out of every test every day, if you sum them up at the end of the year, you got an advantage. Time is a constraint. It's a finite resource. So if you manage to optimize that, you have an advantage. And of course buckets of money doesn't it's a thing too. But again, it's not the only team which have buckets of money, of course. So that is going to be a factor.
Yeah, just to put it in perspective, Mercedes are probably spending upwards of 500 million a year at the moment, and the only people similar to that, Ferrari, who are probably slightly less, and the other teams down, they're probably spending maybe 150 million. So
I think Red Bull might be a close third to Ferrari. So and then I think the fourth team might be Renault, if I'm not wrong. But there is a huge step between the first three top teams, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull, and then Renault. But it's just there. It's
absolutely.
Where's McLaren?
Yeah, they're at the back somewhere still. Probably.
Oh yeah.
I mean, no, McLaren have a really solid setup. So they don't actually have to spend a lot because they have their own manufacturing plant. They've got their own wind tunnel, their own, they can do everything in-house. So it doesn't cost them quite as much as the other teams who have to go to wind tunnels and pay for extra time doing this, that, and the other.
Right.
McLaren have it all, and not just all, but they will have it virtually all on one site.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem for McLaren right now is that they have all the tools and they have way more stuff than other teams have. But but they don't have enough money to run everything at full capacity. Because even if you have a wind tunnel, I mean, just to switch it on, it costs a mountain of money. So if you haven't got enough money, yeah, you got there, but you think 2 or 3 times before, actually, trying the stuff. So yeah, but I mean, it's a money game. We know that. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The working site though is just phenomenal. I mean, it's a really phenomenal factory. So yeah, but they made that investment like when in the heyday, right, when there was more money coming in than they could shake sticks at, right? Oh, you're muted there, Fabio.
yeah, said anyway. Next race is it's gonna be next week
Next week. Yep,
in
indeed.
Austria.
Austria, yeah.
Yeah.
So, great. Red Bull's home circuit. Likely that they will do a little better because they always seem to do around this place. Although I believe it is a rear limited track. So again, we would expect Mercedes and Ferrari to be first and second.
Yeah, it's a very short track, and it's not that much of a fast track. So again, I think we'll have the same, problems that we've had all, season so far, which is, I mean, unless Ricciardo decides to kamikaze, the Red Bulls, which I think he might.
He's trying. He's trying.
Yeah.
I actually like the A1 ring. I think it's a pretty good track because it's a driver's track. They do love racing around this place. And again, it's got those medium speed corners, which means it kind of, car efficiency is a key thing. So I guess that's why Red Bull seem to do well. And yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. So this should be good races from here on in. We're going to good tracks from now on. We've got most of the boring tracks out of the way, just Singapore really. So yeah, it should be good.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all.
Okay, kind of. Is there anything you wanted to mention? The Road America IndyCar race was pretty damn good. Well done to Rossi.
Oh yeah, spectacular.
Yeah, well done to Rossi.
Absolutely spectacular.
Unlucky.
If you could see the guy, he works the anti-roll bars in the cockpit. You ever see his in cockpit camera?
I haven't seen his cockpit camera, no.
Oh, it's just he's working the weight jackers and he's working in every corner. Some guys, they're a bit more old school. They don't adjust as much, and he's like a wizard.
Yeah, fair enough. I'd also, I mean, it was a good race and stuff, and Sato was there. He does pretty well these days in IndyCar. Worth mentioning that he was a back of the grid driver when he was in Formula One. But, I'm not saying anything about the standard here. The other thing, of course, is we just had the Americas Cup, and well done to New Zealand. Absolutely brilliant racing again. So I quite enjoyed that. And again, there is an Adrian Newman connection there, but hey, there you go. Other than that, the racing, that's done. Okay, so I think we're kind of done. And so I would just say yeehaw to Yales and ciao to Fabio.
Ciao, ciao.
Yeehaw!